think that on the balance of probability, they're right more than not.
Yeah, because they're paid to scout, and I mean, they're even massive scout. They're paid to watch the games and scout for little isms and schisms and whatnot. I can't lie. I want to ask you about Merino. Do you think he's a better striker than Havertz? Because that is something that I've been told to ask you, and I'm sure you've been asked millions of times.
Is he better than Havertz?
Specifically through the middle, like, because he's in a good patch of form. He obviously scored in our biggest game of the season, doing his thing.
With all due respect to the questioner, it's a bit of a dumb question because I don't think either are particularly good strikers, right? I mean, Merino's not a striker. Is he doing a better job than Havertz? He's actually not. So I know people say, oh, since 2025, his record 1-2. Havertz's record actually overall,
Havertz got a longer body of work still.
And also Havertz's record overall is like pretty much 1-2. Now,
and we can't forget the second half of last season what he did.
Exactly. So I think let's not get he scored a few goals recently. Let's not get carried away with recency bias. Merino's doing a good job. I think it's actually quite embarrassing that we've got Merino as our striker. I know we've got two of our forwards out, so you could argue these are extenuating circumstances, but it is a bit embarrassing that we've got a midfielder up front. Nevertheless, he's doing a job. I was absolutely everyone was getting praise for me up until the 60th minute, apart from Merino. I was absolutely cooking him because for an hour
you was cooking Merino.
Yeah, let me tell you why.
Oh, you're bugging.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Apart from the I've forgotten what half it was. Was it in the second half or early first half? Second half. Apart from the double shot he had, the double save.
Where Courtois did a madness and it was off the line and that. I think that was second half.
It was second half.
Second half. Where Courtois it was saved off the line by Alaba and like Bellingham or something.
Right. Up until that point, he did nothing. He did nothing.
You're harsh, you know?
Honestly, he did nothing to the point where he was getting in people's way. He was
Martin Odegaard or Mikel Merino. I need to know which names. Like maybe you got Odegaard mixed up.
Well, hang on. So it's a false equivalence to me because you've got one guy that's doing stuff not very well and one guy that's doing nothing. So you can't compare the two.
Marino,
at least Odegaard was involved. His output might not have been particularly good or productive. I agree. He's still on the. He wasn't really impacting the game apart from keeping things tidy. But at least he was on the ball.
You're a harsh man, you know.
I didn't see Merino for 45 minutes.
No, I can't lie. I'm not even Merino's biggest fan, but
my
man was
deluded. All right, deluded. The two chances Saka put across the box. Where's Merino?
Bro, the gaffer's telling you to be here, then everywhere. I hear that. I know where you're going with it. I hear that. No, I hear that because I think
the chance that we did get in the first half, the header from Declan Rice. Why is Rice there? Merino not there?
Bro, like Marino's got you, bro. You're asked to do bare things.
So I'm going to ask you again. In the first half, what did he do?
Bro, he was tackling. He was in midfield. He was prevalent.
His hold-up play was awful.
But he weren't there to do the hold-up thing.
So what's he there to do then?
But you're acting, Jordan, because you know Arteta asks you to do everything.
So you're saying to me he's not meant to be a tapping merchant. He's not meant to hold up the ball. What's he meant to do?
Bro, you clearly know yourself, yeah? Havertz, Jesus, Merino, you're to do everything.
No, because even when Havertz and Jesus are playing trash, at least they get on the ball. At least they hold it up. They win a free kick.
Like my man said, he floats in the midfield. He floated in the midfield, bro. And overload in the midfield. Big up the chat for saving me. Like, he was doing that. He was doing that. You
man are bugging. For 45 minutes, he was ghost. He was the only player that was ghost. He didn't have a poor game. He had a nothing game. And then he did the double. He did the double save from Courtois. Cool. There were two good strikes, by the way. And then he scored a bad boy goal. So I'm not even a Merino hater. I'm the one here saying that his goal was arguably better than Rice's. I'm not a hater. I actually like Merino, but I'm going to call it as it is for 45 minutes.
So you think Merino was better than Havertz? Odegaard was better than Merino?
Over the course of 90 minutes? Over the course of 90 minutes, we're talking about. Over the 90 minutes, I mean, Merino got a goal, so that's gonna get the headlines.
Forget the goal, just being prevalent or whatever.
No, they were both dead. Take out Merino's goal, they were both dead. They're both dead.
You're buying it. You
can't tell me what he did. What did he do?
Bro, I beg you watch the game again. Like Merino went amazing.
I was there. What did he do?
So what were you must have been licked. Too much rain.
I can tell you what Skelly did. I can tell you what Saka did. I'm not even a big fan of Martinelli. I call him the flirter. I can tell you what he did. I can tell you what
Martinelli
Rice
was
did.
cold. Martinelli was good.
I can tell you what David Raya did. What did Merino do? Chat,
He
tell
was
me.
pulling out to the channels. He was dropping into midfield. He was winning tackles. He was doing everything. No, because you don't want to hear it though. Because you don't want to hear it. Because no, and he scored. We got to remember, and he scored. You're asking me. I'm telling you.
I asked you. You asked me who was better out of the two, and I'm saying Merino got a goal, so that by default means
Merino was better than Odegaard. Odegaard was the shittest player on the pitch out of the starters. I'll be real with you, look. Out of all the starters,
I won't argue with that. I'm just saying that Merino's goal aside, he did nothing. He did nothing. And I like him. I'm a fan of him.
He put in the shift. He did come, man. He's up against Rudiger and he scored as well. That's a difficult game.
We'll agree to disagree on that one.
What do you make of Martinelli? Because he didn't score or assist, but I think it was better from him.
Martinelli's an interesting
one. He's going to buy him. He's going to diss him. Look, I preyed it. I see his facial expression dissing him. I preyed it.
I struggle with the fan base.
Too long to answer the question.
Everyone keeps hang on. Everyone keeps telling me after games, Martinelli had a good game, or leading up to games. Yeah, because Martinelli, he's been on fire. He's been playing really well. And again, I'm like, I'm watching a different game to you lot clearly, because I'm like, what do I expect from my wide players? Deluded, right? Take on, crosses, get some shots off, right?
He did that though.
Forget goals. I'm not talking about goals. Just take-ons, crosses, shots. Yeah. In the game, he put in a shift. I think defensively, as he always does, top tier. And something that somebody flagged to me, which I think is fair, that I didn't consider. He's on the same side as Lewis Skelly, so he's got to. I don't say babysit, but he's got to
be a bit mindful of
right. That. Yeah, so that's and he did that very, very well. But he had a couple of good runs in the game. He had a good shot on goal in the first half, I think.
Like a double save from Courtois or something.
Yeah, and he had a couple of good crosses over the game. But if that's what constitutes a good game, I'm sorry, you don't need to raise your levels. 2 good runs.
What levels is there to raise? Marino is up front. Kivio's playing. There's no levels that need to be raised.
We're talking about the flirter. The flirter, right? We're talking about the flirter, right? The flirter, 2 really good runs, a shot on goal, and a couple of good crosses. Does that constitute over 90 minutes?
Yeah, but you're making it sound dead, though. You're making it sound meaty. Yeah, the way you said it. You see these journalists, man, they make it sound mad. You made it sound dead.
For those who don't know, I call him the flirter. I've been calling him the flirter all season because we've all got that brethren deluded, right? And you'll know this, right? We got that from back in the day. One of the man them, right? You know it. We go to the club. We're going to the party or we're going out, right? And then there's one guy that's always chatting. Well, when I get to the club, you know, man's gonna move.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get bare things.
Man's gonna get bare things. Listen, man's on it tonight. You get to the club, nothing. Silence.
Stuttering with the game, chatting to them and that.
I'm just going to the bathroom. Back in a minute. Bare excuses. And then when he does chat to a young lady, it's bare chat. But there's no closing. There's no end product. There's no okay. I got the young lady's number, or we're going home tonight. There's nothing.
You're not getting nothing.
You're not getting nothing. Bare talk. He does this thing, Deluded, where it's watch him, and I beg all the viewers to watch him. He does this thing where it's touch. Oh, pass it inside. Touch.
He does do that Garnacho thing where it makes you think something's going to happen, and then ultimately nothing happens.
Touch the ball. Oh, run it out of play. What are we doing here?
You just don't like the lad, man.
He's a flirter. And what the reason why I've been hard on him all season is because I can count on one hand the amount of good games he's had. Against Fulham 2 weeks ago, he was brilliant. But I'm seeing that performance 1 in 5. It's not good enough.
That's true.
It's not good enough. So when I hear fans saying like he had a good game, I'm like, what for you constitutes a good game?
No, but isn't it about putting in the shifts in the team performance and all of that jazz?
This nonsense. And listen, have you noticed as well, Deluded, whenever people talk about Martinelli, the first thing they say is defensively did really well. What's going on here? So hang on a minute. We're judging our winger.
I'm guilty of that still.
We're judging our winger first and foremost now by his defensive response. And I know Arteta demands that. I know that's a requirement from Arteta. I get that. That's what he's been asked to do. But come on, man. Give me something going forward. Touch, 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 touch. Step over. Oh, here you go, Odegaard. Great.
Yeah, the man was saying you're not being as harsh on Odegaard though. People are saying you're playing favourites, bro.
You haven't asked about Odegaard, to be fair. You haven't asked about Odegaard. You know
Talk to us about our captain then. Because I'm an Odegaard apologist, but I'm not for this. We want to hear Jordan's thoughts.
I think he's had a poor season, right? And for months after the injury, I gave him a pass because it was like, I know Odegaard, and this isn't Odegaard. So he's still carrying. Right? So I gave him a little bit of a pass. We're now months past the months. Yeah. And
what time?
Yeah, and James on Forever Arsenal I did a pod with made a really interesting point a couple of months back where he gave some analysis where he was pointing out, and it's funny because Jamie Carragher did the exact same analysis the following day on Monday Night Football. He's
James' thing.
Basically, but the analysis was that he's getting the ball in nice areas. He's on the ball a lot, but he's on the ball that doesn't in areas that don't hurt. He's not in the final third. Well, he is, but he's not hiding. It'd be a lie and unfair to say that he's hiding, but he's getting the ball in comfortable areas. And Odegaard is a magician. He's a magician. He's got magic in his boots. He can do so much.
No one's buying a ticket to watch him though.
Say again?
Right now, no one's buying a ticket to watch his shows. But this magician is no magic.
They're not. But we've got to separate two things. We've got to separate his responsibilities as a captain and his responsibilities as a creative force.
True.
Martin Odegaard has never been a creator. He's a game dictator. He's not a 10. He's not a 10. Maddison is a 10. Fernandez is a 10. KDB is a 10. Clivert, they're 10s. They're chance creators. Odegaard is a game controller. Odegaard is a David Silva. Yeah, the man ain't gonna get great stats, but they can read the game. So for me, we've got to buy a 10. We've got to buy a 10 because Odegaard ain't gonna create chances. He's not.
So is he then?
What is he?
Yeah, if he's not a 10, like what is Donny?
I think he's a hybrid between a 10 and an 8. I'd
like
move him to 8. Listen, he's not had a good season, but we know what he can do. So I'm prepared to give him a little bit of a grace in that next year he'll come back better. If we upgraded on Martin Odegaard again, I wouldn't be pissed. I wouldn't be outraged about that because we need more from him. We need more from him. And there's certain games where he carries himself like a captain, but he doesn't influence like a captain. So there's not enough times when his
this man and this and all that stuff.
Yeah, I know. I guess a lot of heat for that. But my thing is, I want you to do what I want my captain to do, which is give me the ball. We're 1-0 down. I'm gonna make something happen. And too often he either tries too hard or he's in areas that on the ball doing flicks that don't really hurt no one. So people think I'm being nice. I'm not being. He's had a bad year, but I'm not ready to write him off just yet because I know what he can do.
You got the first half of next season, or Odegaard, I might leave the fan club still.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I wouldn't.
You're on big money, and Berto, I don't think he's here to play games still.
No, I wouldn't disagree with that.
Like it's dark. Like, and do you know what the saddest thing is? I think of all the games, obviously with Odegaard playing like how he's playing, I don't think the Madrid one is one to do too much about Martin Odegaard. I don't think he was terrible, shy at him and all that stuff. I just think it's a thing where, like, in this 53 minutes, me and you have spoken on Merino, Lewis Skelly. We haven't spoken on Partey, but Partey was good. Rice did his thing. Kibio stepped up.
Big up Partey, because again, Rice got attention for obvious reasons. Thomas Partey, he was that good. I was in the camp of I would let him go for a free, right?
You're changing it.
But let me tell you why. Because I was happy to let him go. Not happy, but I was content letting him go.
Like it is what it is.
Well, I think in the new phase, because we're in phases now, right? This was the year to win the title, and it feels like we now need to start building for a new phase. And to do that, you need to phase out the guys from the last phase, right? You had your chance. Partey's been there a while, and it hasn't happened for him. But he was that good on Wednesday, in my opinion. It took a while to warm up, But when he warmed up, he absolutely bossed that midfield. He was that good. I just thought to myself, he's proven his fitness. Because my big thing also was like, you can't rely on him. So he's on big wages, and if you can't play 20 games a season in the league, 30 games, what's the point? But after Saka, Partey's my favorite player at the club. I love Thomas Partey.
Oh,
At his best, I don't know if there's many players in that position better than him. There's not many. At his best. The problem is, at his best is not often enough. So I would offer him a 1-year deal.
But is he playing for that deal though, man? Like, if we sign him to a new deal and
it
it gets back to what we've seen,
it's a fair point. But I think he's been our
I'm
best.
with you, but there is that side.
He's been our best midfielder this season, so it's
100%.
not like he's been playing well for like a handful of games. He has been up until Christmas. He was our best player in the team. I think Gabriel, David Raya, arguably now are contenders for
Lewis Kelly,
yeah, but
how many seasons have you seen that from Partey though? Because that's my thing. Like
before this year,
yeah, it'd be that year, and that'll push. What was it, 2022, 23? Wherever Xhaka was playing in that left 8, because for me with Partey, it was just injuries. I'm playing good. There'll be 5 games a season where obviously Real Madrid is Real Madrid, but he'll play to that level. Have me and you making streams and whatnot. I want to keep Partey. I'm a big Partey fan. I think Mikel Arteta is a man's played a man right back. Obviously, if it wasn't Thomas Partey and whatnot, I think he would have had enough of the player and all this baggage and all the other kind of stuff. I just don't know, man, because he's on big money. If you give him a new deal and he reverts back to type, it seems like it's the right option. And I think it is the right option to give him a new deal. But I'll be a hypocrite if I didn't say, yo, George, do you want to jump on the stream and why do we give Partey a new deal? I'll be on a hypocrite thing. So I don't know with Thomas. I just think the club are saying, you know what, broski, you're on 200 odd bags. Jorginho's on 100 odd. Tierney's on.
It's a lot.
Not bringing Zubimendi, which I'm a bit scared because I like Zubimendi, but I feel Partey right now of all the centre mid, so the people playing behind Odegaard, he's a bit all rounded. Like he's not all action as Rice, and he's not as cute and clever on the boy as Jorginho, but he can do bits and pieces of both of them. And the thing that annoys me about Arsenal is that we're only talking about replacing Partey now, where your deal is running down. We should have done this the year that we got Rice and Kai and Timber. We should have got Lavia or something.
But you say that now, but that's hindsight. At the time, his fitness was in the bin. It was in the bin. It was in the bin. So at that point, if they'd offered him a contract, it'd have made no sense. He was missing half of. He was missing.
No, I'm saying find a replacement, like the Lavia, whoever can do Partey things, but it's a younger model, like buying a new car kind of thing.
Yeah, I just think a bit like Tierney. There's a lot of revisionism going on regarding Tierney. People, why isn't he playing? Tierney for 2 years played like 10 games. Like he was injured. Like
he was crap in Spain as well.
I love Tierney as well. And when he's played this year, he's been really, really good. But let's not pretend like we don't remember. He was injured for like months and months and months. So let's not do the revisionist thing. Like he's going because he couldn't prove his fitness on a long-term basis. So same with Partey. Partey up until this year, none of us trusted his fitness. None of us did, because he was missing half of seasons. He was missing 20 games, 25 games a year. That's a lot of games.
The best availability, like for all your ability, you need to be available. And I think that's something that maybe it's not all going to change next season, but that's what I want to see Berta and Arteta have a word, because I like Tierney. Obviously, Tierney's gone, but using him as an example, I like Tierney. I think people are harsh on Zinchenko. I don't think he should be playing in the standard of week in, week out, but you've got him. I'm a massive fan, and I make no excuses of Tomiyasu, but these men are never fit, bro. Like, you need man available, because we keep getting into this scenario. The couple of boys that I'll cut like an excuse for being injured is anyone that's had a hamstring injury, mainly Kai Havertz, Bukayo Saka, and Kai Havertz, because I think that was, and Magalhaes as well, because I think that was going to happen. But everyone else is crazy. Timber as well, because you had an ACL and you're playing a lot of football. But at some point, I just feel as Arsenal fans, we're talking about the same things year in, year out. And at some point, if nothing changes, nothing changes. Do you honestly think we'll win the champs though? Because I can't lie, I'm drinking the positive Arsenal Kool-Aid. I don't know. We can do this, you know. I can't lie. I think we can do this.
Let me just get through the Bernabeu, I beg. Yeah.
Fuck the Bernabeu. We got this.
That game ain't over.
Like we got it.
That game ain't over. It's not over. It's not over.
3 goals though, bro. 3.
I think we'll go through. But let me paint you a scenario. Madrid score in the first 10 minutes, which can happen. That can happen. Right?
Probably going to happen.
They're up for it. Stadium's loud. Everyone's in white. Loud. They score in the 9th minute, right? Set piece goes in 3-1, right? That can happen. If I said to you, do you think Madrid, even not on form, do you think they could score 2 goals in 80 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, the counter is, well, so can we. We can score a goal. And I think one more goal and it's done. They're not scoring 4.
That's what I was saying in my stream earlier. I'm on that. 4 goals, we're done.
Yeah, but I don't think it's over because I think that Madrid will look at it like, if we can get 1 goal in the first half and be winning 1-0, we've then got half a game to get 2 goals. Like, we can do that. Do you know what I mean? So
and they're gonna get a pen.
Right. They'll be hotting up referees from now. Yeah, they'll be hotting up referees from now. So we've just got to make sure that we are on job. I hear people talking about tactics and
it's desire thing, man.
We've got to go out and try and score a goal to kill the tie. Nonsense.
Street smartness is required, bro.
What we got to do is go into blocks. For the first 20 minutes, just keep it 0-0. Just be resolute, break us down. Stoke City FC, yeah?
The nastiest low block I've ever seen, Artel.
Let me tell you why. Because the longer the game stays at 0-0 or even 1-0, the more gaps in the back there's gonna be. A lot of the more
they're gonna get a bit nervy.
Get to 70 minutes and you're ahead, they're gonna push, then we can eat. So
we'll be back though, because who is up front?
Well, it only takes if there's gaps and they're committing, it doesn't really matter. You just need players that can hit on the counter, deliver a good ball, and someone to finish that. And that can be my boy Merino, who's shown that he can flex. You know what I mean?
Has he got the pace up there though?
Well, you might, if we have the flirter and Saka running off of him, he hasn't got to be the guy. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's over, but I do think we'll go through. But the boys can't do anything stupid. No dumb red cards. Got to concentrate early. The first 20 minutes is so key.
Vital.
It'll be loud. It's going to be very, very loud, very intimidating. It's
going to be horrible.
Turnabout, right? Lots of cameras everywhere. A lot of players like Lewis Skelly have not been at that level before. So it's new for them. That
vast majority of our squad ain't been in that level, Jordan. Like, a couple man have, but yeah, like more players haven't than have. You're right.
You go. So the first 20 minutes is so important. We got to quieten the crowd. We got to just shut them up. Frustrate them. They'll be diving. They'll be leaving. They'll be playing around the box to try and get cheap penalties and cheap free kicks.
The most, yeah.
We know what time it is. We just got to be aware to it. Don't fall for it. Don't leave your leg dangling. Don't have your hand up here so the ball can hit you. Because you know any 50-50 is going their way. Any 50-50 is going their way.
Yeah, so 1,000,000%. We know what time it is.
If they come back deluded, right? And beat us 4-3, good football bangers. We just couldn't handle them. It's a shocker. We're gonna get battered. We have to hold it. Fine.
I'll take my.
But what I don't want is them to get goals where you're like, we knew that was coming. Why are you falling for the tricks? Why are you getting yellow cards? Why are you putting? Don't make them work for it. Make them do a miracle. Don't give away cheap free kicks, cheap fouls. Don't fall for the dives. You know, don't give them goals. Is what I'm saying.
And that's a jarring thing. Don't give them anything. Like, just make it difficult. For me, I just want to approach it in the same way we did at the Emirates. I think the exact same script. Obviously, the psychological factors, the burnabout, the ref, all the things that we're speaking about, player point. But I don't think we can go there and just low block it for 90 minutes. I think it'd be idiotic to just attack for 90 minutes. I think you just got to do what you've got to do. And I think Mikel Arteta, just like Carlo, it's a game for them as well, because at the end of the day, we can do the whole, it's Madrid and they always come back and it's Madrid, but they're probably a bit nervous. At some point, they're going to have to put the balls in the back of the net. Can we not necessarily hit them on the counter, but can we expose the gaps in their system and score? Because for me, I think 4 goals does it. I should think 3 goals does it. And I think Tuesday was great. The only reason as to why I don't think 3 goals is enough, and I know we defend well, is because, Jordan, it's Real Madrid. Like, even though I feel that, I'll be honest, when I was watching the game, for the first 20 minutes, I think we started well. I think we did our thing, but you're still naturally in the back of your head, Madrid. Then it just felt like a normal game. Like, fuck it. They're Madrid and whatever, but they're human just like us. So we need to just manage the game. So that brings me to my last question for you before I let you get out of here. Then, like, where's your thinking points on what do you do where Brentford's concerned? Because man are saying rest everybody. I'm saying certain men have to play because we ain't got nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, my team would be off the top of my head, Raya. Centre backs, I'd go Saliba and Kivior because
Same.
that's probably what it's going to be at the Bernabeu. So give them another game to kind of get acquainted. My fullbacks would probably be Ben White. I'd drop Timber, and at left back I would go. Is Zinchenko,
Surely Tini.
is Zinchenko fit?
He is fit. What? No Tini?
Yeah, Tierney. Yeah, I don't really care. Just I would save
One of the two.
realistically.
I hear that.
Yeah, I don't really mind actually. I don't. Everyone's saying, "Oh, rest everybody, rest everybody." You still got to have some
It's not
momentum.
realistic, fam. Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
realistic.
and you can't just drop the whole 11 and wrap them in cotton wool. You still got to have some momentum. So that's why Saliba starts for me. Raya still starts. Yeah, all right. Tierney at left back. In midfield, I would go a three of Jorginho. I would start Partey.
Thomas at
Yeah,
Brentford. Ooh.
and I would go in 1 year. Who would be my third midfielder? Because I would drop Rice.
See, I'm the
Odegaard.
opposite. I'd rather Merino come in and Jorginho and
Oh yeah,
Merino.
I forgot about him. There you go. All right, Marino, Jorginho at the base. Sorry, Partey at the base, and in front of him, Marino and Jorginho. That's the midfield three. And then up top, I would go Sterling, Nwaneri, Flirter.
That's the nastiest agenda of a name, you know. Like my flirt, I have to keep remembering talking about Nelly still. I hear it. What? No trust up?
No, because I think there's a game I see in my mind where he plays 90 minutes, possibly extra time, and there's a lot of running. We'll need his legs. We're going to need his legs on Wednesday. So no, I'd go because Sterling ain't going to play in the Bernabeu.
I hope he can. Yardman and that, but it's a myth.
It's not happening.
It's a myth.
Nwaneri, I think at best will be a sub, so you haven't got to worry about his fitness. And then Martinelli still come back from fitness. Technically, he's only had a few games back since injury, so let's get him up to speed. Yeah, that'll be my team. I mean, I don't want to chuck the game. I don't like when fans.
Yeah, I'm not on that.
This game's not important. I still want to.
It definitely is.
I know some fans, if you don't come first, then it doesn't matter where you finish. But for me, finishing as close as possible to Liverpool, that does matter to me. Do you know what I mean? So I don't want to just chuck games now. Do you know what I mean? So I want to win this game. I'm not sure we will, but I want to win this game.
For me, at the end of the day, like Liverpool have run away with the league, but I'm with you. I hear it. There's nothing to play for in that, but fans are spending whole heap of money to go watch Arsenal Brentford. Fans are waking up at whatever time of day, and they just want to win the game and be competitive. And I know momentum doesn't play a part, but it does. And also, if you didn't believe any of that, what I said, it's not like we got the biggest of squads. We ain't got Chelsea's team. So not all the players we want to rest, they can't be rested. We haven't got 2 11s at the very minimum. For me, Raya in goal, I'm not going with the Neto thing. Kivior Saliba, as you said. Benjamin White at right back. I don't really care about Zinni or Tini, but I'd go with Tini. In midfield, I'm personally going Jorginho, Merino, even though I think Merino will actually continue playing up front. But I'm going Merino, Jorginho. I'm actually on doing something silly, like either Trossard or Zinni in that 10, something that we ain't seen, one of the two. So I like to make it easy, I'll go Trossard or Zinni. I'll go Trossard because it just looks a bit cute and clever. Left wing, Martinelli. I think you got minutes there. And then I'm with you with Sterling and Nwaneri. And if anything, the front three, you lot just do that little rotation thing and just get the 3 points and keep it moving, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I agree. I think you want to go into that Madrid game with a little bit of momentum. I think if you lose at home to Brentford, it's not the great prep for a big game. Morale's then a bit
downer.
Yeah, you want to go into that game like, yeah, okay. You know, the league form is ticking over, doing our thing. Can I just respond to some people in the chat that have done they're libeling my name? I never said
who? I can bring the comments up.
People are saying, "Oh, Merino had a great game," and I'm being harsh on him. Listen, they're like, "Oh yeah, but what a striker scored a goal, so that's what you want him to do." I'm saying, if people listened, up until the goal, I was battering him. I was saying up
He's
until the
allowed his
goal.
own opinion, man.
Up until the goal, I was battering, man, because for me, my opinion, apart from that double save, he didn't do anything in the game. But then he scored. So then I just like, cool. Well, if he does nothing else, he's got
You can say he done that.
Probably the goal that sees us through to the next round. So calm. If you do nothing all game, but you score a goal, you get no heat from me. But I'm saying that's not sustainable. It's not sustainable to do that. So you've got to be involved. You've got to hold the ball up better. You've got to get some flick-ons. You've got to be hitting getting the back post from Saka. You got to, and he didn't do any of that. But he scored a goal. So calm. That was it.
Yo, man. George, let people know they can find you as usual, man.
Yeah,
we've been trying forever to get this done. I appreciate it, but let people know they can find you, man. You got bare podcasts and that.
Come, man. I don't do a lot of Arsenal podcasts. In fact, you're the only person apart from Forever Arsenal that I do, man. You're my guy, and I like your community.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. Twice a week. I'm on Forever Arsenal with Turkish James and Lee judges.
It's a good show, man. It's a mixture, a conglomerate of people, man. I fuck with that show still.
We have a laugh, man. I'm on Instagram doing my thing, but can I just plug my new podcast? That's okay.
This is why I'm telling you everything you need to say it, man.
Love my bro.
And send the links as well.
Yeah, man. I started a new podcast called Jordan Jarrett Bryan's The Coolest Disabled in the World. I am disabled, for those that don't know.
People don't know, yeah.
And there's no content for people with disabilities out there to hear lived experiences and just have a little bit of fun with people that are just doing really amazing things. When I say amazing things, not like, oh, so-and-so's got muscular dystrophy and they woke up in the morning. No. No, but the bar's not low, bro. Like, people are doing like sick things, right? Activists, actors, influencers, models, chefs, builders, just doing really dope things and finding out whether their disabilities played a role. It's not only for people who are disabled. 1 in 4 people in the UK are disabled.